So going back to January 2013, you told a Fox News interviewer that women in the military simply couldn't measure up to men in the military, saying that allowing women to serve in combat roles would force the military to lower the bar. You picked up on that same theme in 2015, making remarks on Fox News, referring to women in combat as, quote, it would erode standards.
Is this even debatable? I mean, when I joined the military, it's always been this way. Men's standards when it comes to physicality,
right.
When you do your PFT scores, you have to do a certain amount of pull-ups or push-ups, or you have to run the 3 miles in a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Female standards are much lower than men's. That's always been true.
When we was in the military, we do pull-ups.
Yeah.
They measured us by how many pull-ups we could do.
Right.
Women was the flexed arm hang. How long they could hang.
Right, right. I mean, everybody knows there's lower status for women to join the military.
Yeah,
because we're different when it comes to physicality.
Yeah.
Not so much mentally, but more in physicality.
Yeah. I remember watching the female Marines.
Yeah.
It was like watching the WNBA. It was ridiculous.
Keith.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this. This is crazy. I remember we was in boot camp in Paris Island.
Yeah.
Right? I remember the female recruits came by.
Mm-hmm.
All I smelled was fish coming. Like men, we had an odor to us.
So you say the women smell like salmon?
Yeah.
Drill instructor, you know what that is? Drill instructor, you know what that smell is, right? It's that time of the month.
Anyway, so, I mean, this is not even debatable, and they're trying to demonize him because he don't want to see
Y'all trying to demonize him over something that's a fact.
A scientific fact.
It's a scientific fact.
All right, let's go.
June 2024, you said on Ben Shapiro's podcast, quote, women shouldn't be in combat at all. And then, of course, we've talked about it in 2024. You published a book. And you say on page 26 of your book, we need moms, but not in the military, especially in combat units. Page 48 of your...
Hey, you know what?
I would never get that. Why would a woman want to be in combat with a rifle carrying grenades? What? Most men don't want to do that. Why would a woman want to do that? Why are they advocating for this? Why y'all want a woman on the front line and people are trying to shoot and unallow them?
It's about diversity, equity, inclusion.
That's why. I mean, 99.9% of women can't handle combat. Most men can't handle combat. That 0.01%, they're out there. You see them in the UFC as fighters and stuff like that, but
I would say 99% of women, if they were asked to join the military to fight a war, World War III, 99% of women, if not more, would say, nope, not interested. That's what we have men for. That's exactly what they would say. And in fact, if I'm fighting beside a woman and I got to rely on her and her physicality, that lowers my morale as a man.
Yeah, because I know I'm going to die.
Because I got to worry about me and her. I got to even worry about her mistakenly doing something that gets me unalived.
Right.
In your book, you claim that women should not be in combat roles because men are distracted by women. And then 10 weeks ago, you appeared on the Sean Ross.
What?
Especially Pete Hegseth. He's got a woman side of him. Oh, he's been through some women. He's been through some women.
He's been through some wives.
Yeah. He's going to be distracted.
I mean, but we all go through.
Imagine being in combat, you got some fine woman beside you.
You ain't gonna have no fine woman beside you.
Hey, after 6 months in the hole, every woman's gonna look.
What do you call that? Not the hole. What do they call it? What's the verbiage?
The fire foxhole.
In the foxhole. Yeah.
Ryan show and said, I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles.
Straight up.
I presume you recall making all these statements?
Senator, I'm not familiar with the article you're pointing to in 2013, but it underscores my argument completely because in that 2013 argument, I was talking about standards.
No,
standards are what it's always been about.
Let him talk.
Yeah, it's always been about standards.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I went to Mets before I went to the Marine Corps. They check you from head to toe.
Right.
I seen grown men who had like medical ailments, like flat feet and whatnot, and they were crying because they were not allowed in, and they were men.
While you're allowing women, lower the standard for women to join the military.
That lowers morale for men.
Yeah.
Why do you think men are not joining the armed services like they used to?
Yeah, because y'all promoting things that shouldn't be in our military.
Fight
Always
again.
been about Senate
I've quoted
standards.
you directly. We've got the video. We're happy to show it. But I want to be clear here. For 12 years,
can't
you were
stand this
quite
woman.
open about your views,
fake.
and your views were consistently the same. Women are inferior soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and guardians. And in case anyone missed the point, and these are your words from 10 weeks ago, women absolutely straight up should not be permitted to serve in combat. And I notice on each of these quotes, those are said without qualification. It's not by how much you can lift or how fast you can.
I don't care how fast that girl is. I can find a faster guy.
That's true.
I don't care how much she can lift. I can find a stronger guy.
Yeah. Now, women can be in the military, but put them in a more supporting role.
Yeah, administrative roles.
Yeah, a supporting role.
Yeah. So,
Why did he got to be in a foxhole with a dude getting shot at? That makes absolutely no sense.
I remember I was on a plane and we started going through turbulence. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. But I didn't start screaming like women did.
Right.
Run, they don't belong in combat,
They
period.
don't.
Or your words, straight up. And then, on November 9th, 2024, just 32 days after your last public comment saying that women absolutely should not be in combat, you declared that, quote, some of our greatest warriors are women, and you support having them serve in combat. Now, that is a very, very big about face in
That
a
is.
very, very short period of time.
He's playing politics. I think he wants this job.
So help me understand, Mr. Hegseth, what extraordinary event happened in that 32-day period that made you change the core values you had expressed for the preceding 12 years?
Senator, again, I very much appreciate you bringing up my comments from 2013 because for me, this issue has always been about standards. And unfortunately, because of some of the people that have been in
Excuse
political
me, Mr.
power for the
Hegseth,
last 4
let's
years,
just stop, let's just
priorities
stop, let's
other
just
than
stop
standards,
right there.
lethality, and
Mr.
meritocracy
Hegseth,
have
I'm
driven
quoting
decision-making.
you, I'm quoting you from the podcast. Women shouldn't be in combat at all. Where
At
is
all.
the reference to standards? That they should be there if they can carry, if they can run. I don't see that at all, Mr. Hegseth. What I see is there's a 32-day period in which you suddenly have another description about your views of women in the military. And I just want to know, what changed in the 32 days that the song you sang is not the song you come in here today to sing?
Senator, the concerns I have and the concerns that many have had, especially in ground combat units, is that in pursuit of certain percentages or quotas, standards have been changed. And that makes the combat more difficult
Let me make a
for everybody
suggestion
involved.
about what happened in that 32 days. You got a nomination from President Trump. Now, I've heard of deathbed conversions, but this is the first time I've heard of a nomination conversion. And I hope you understand that many women serving in the military right now might think that if you can convert so rapidly your long-held and aggressively pursued views in just 32 days, that 32 days after you get confirmed, maybe you'll just reverse those views and go back to the old guy who said straight up, women do not belong.
There's not a line of women in the military currently. I mean, I'm just giving my personal opinion here. There's not a bunch of women in the military right now upset if Pete Hegseth says you cannot fight in combat.
Right.
I want to see these women. Because when I was in the military, there's a bunch of dudes. It's like, man, I'm just here for the benefits. I just want to go to college. I hope I don't go to war. If war comes, I'm going AWOL. That was men saying that.
Yeah.
It was just there for the benefits.
Yeah. I mean, just Democrats, they're trying to make him out to be Pete Hegseth, out to be like this just misogynist, sexist man. No, he's just stating what his perspective is based in reality. Women should be in combat situations.
Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. They shouldn't be in combat. Just because they can run, just because they can do dead hands, just because they pass their physical requirements, that's much lower than men. Combat is something totally different.
Yeah, and I want a man.
Yeah.
I want a misogynist, sexist man beside me.
Just like
I want a corn-fed white boy from Nebraska.
Just like what happened to Trump during that almost fateful day he lost his life through that assassination attempt. Look who was running the Secret Service. Look who surrounded him. And it was a circus.
Yeah.
Why would you want to put a woman in combat?
They can't even holster their weapon.
In combat. Now, Mr. Hegseth, you have written that after they retire, generals should be banned from working for the defense industry for 10 years. You and I agree on the corrosive effects of the revolving door between the Pentagon and defense contractors. It's something I would have liked to talk with you about if you'd come and been willing to visit with me. But the question I have for you on this is, will you put your money where your mouth is and agree that when you leave this job, you will not work for the defense industry for 10 years?
Senator, it's not even a question I've thought about because
You can think about it right now.
It's not one, my motivation for this job
I understand
has never
that. I
been
just
about
need
what
a
could
yes or no
conceivably
here.
come next.
Time is short. I just need a yes or no.
I would consult with the president about what the policy should be
In
at the Defense
other
Department.
words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years, but you're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear.
Yeah, he got on that one.
Yeah. I mean, how many, like, she's trying to go after his integrity, but it's like, how many of those people in Congress, in the Senate, in the House of Representatives, how many of them are invested in these companies that benefit and make money when we go to war? I bet you she's invested in all these companies, but she want to call it his integrity. But when she says, let's go to war, she knows her stock is going to go up.
Right.
But she want to
invested in in military infrastructure.
Yeah, she's going after his integrity, but she needs to call out everybody's integrity in Congress.
Yeah, it's just a show. She only call him out. She's not going to call out our colleagues.
Hey, this is what I'm going to show you something. This is what Democrats want in a defense secretary. This is what they want.
Today, we commemorate 10 years since the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and we welcome a new generation of soldiers, sailors, airmen, guardians, and Marines openly and proudly serving their country.
This is what Democrats want.
And today, we can recognize and honor their contributions rather than questioning their ability to serve.
Wow.
You can't question the ability
And
to
today,
serve.
we reaffirm that transgender rights are human rights.
What?
And that America is safer and better when every qualified citizen can serve with pride and dignity.
Qualified.
Now that's real progress.
Clown.
Trans rights or human rights? I think trans rights is preferential treatment. They get extra benefits.
They get extra rights. They get preferential treatment.
Yeah. They get a pass. They get special treatment. They're treated better than any other ethnicity, race, or gender of people.
Yeah.